Hey, it's Paul with rackattack.com, and this is the Yakima StageTwo platform hitch-mounted bicycle carrier. It comes in this box, and we have it on this vehicle with a bicycle loaded. We'll take the bike off, remove the rack, show you how it attaches to the vehicle, and show you how the bike gets loaded on. So first, let's go ahead and unload the bike, and to do that, we just first we go to the rear wheel and disconnect the rear wheel strap. Get control of the bike, press the lever to release the hold down arm, and then we can go ahead and set the bike off to the side. Now we'll go ahead and put the bike rack back into the stowed position, and I'll grab the lever that's conveniently positioned at the front of the carrier and rotate that to the vertical position. There is a pull pin on the side. I'll disconnect that and show you that in more detail in a moment. And we haven't actually fastened it to the vehicle, and we'll do that here shortly. Okay, so first I want to show you how the rack actually attaches to the hitch of the vehicle. You have a dedicated 2-inch receiver hitch, and here we have the silver wedge. That wedge is an anti-wobble device, and that will prevent the rack from moving in the vertical and horizontal plane. So it makes for a very rigid connection to the hitch of the vehicle. Now that wedge is tightened and loosened with this black and silver handle. And so no tools are required. When you tighten that, that'll grip the wedge into the inside of the hitch. Now also, you have a Yakima SKS lock core, so that is your security feature to lock the entire rack to the hitch of the vehicle. And we'll demonstrate that in a moment. So while we have the rack here, let's go ahead and show you some of the construction. This is Yakima's heavy-duty platform rack. So this entire hitch assembly and backbone area is all steel, so it's very strong. The 2 trays are lighter aluminum material, and the support arms are tubular steel. So overall, a very heavy-duty rack, and has among the highest capacities, carrying capacities of what Yakima offers. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the installation. So to do that, it's always best to do it while it's in this right angle style position. That way you don't have to lean over the rack. And I'm just guiding the stinger into the receiver and pushing it forward. Now once I get it to where it's stable, I'll take this pin, and this pin is simply a safety feature, and also make sure that it's inserted to the correct depth. So on the opposite side, there is, of course, the other hitch pin hole, and I will use that. Now it's pressing against the side, and I'll begin pushing it inward until the hitch pin finds the hitch pin hole and the hole inside the receiver, and that way you know it's at the right depth. Also, it serves as a safety so that it can't come out. Okay, and then next we can take the silver turn knob and begin tightening that. As I tighten it, I'll rock it slightly, and that way that wedge will get nested into the corner of the receiver. I'm going to get a good snug fit on that. And now you can see we have a very, very secure fit with no wobble vertically or horizontally. Okay, now I have the keys that are included. There are 2 of the Yakima SKS keys. It does come with a keychain, which happens to be a bottle opener. Okay, and so we'll take that key, lock that turn knob. Now the turn knob just spins freely. It will not tighten or loosen the rack from your hitch. So that serves as a very effective theft deterrent for locking the rack to your vehicle. Okay, so now moving up, we have the vertical backbone assembly, the 2 trays. Each of these trays has the option to be repositioned. So if you need one tray to be positioned off to one side more than the other, that is an option. You can loosen all these fasteners and shift it over one position, and that can sometimes help to offset 2 bikes where they may touch. Now, something that's where Yakima has really gone even further with security is that all of these fasteners use a tool that's included, And this tool is a hollow point hex. So you have a hollow point at the end of the hex, and then there's a point inside of each of these fasteners. So those are not a weak point of the security of the rack. Okay, so now let's go ahead and load a bike. To do so, we'll just lift that lever and bring the rack down into the carrying position. So that is considered the carrying position. There's also a lower position here. So this position can be used in order to load a bike from this lower position to make it less of a lift. We'll go ahead and bring it into this position and load up a bike. So the steps in loading a bike is to rotate the hold down arm forward and then open your rear ratchet for the rear wheel. That'll just swing off to the side. This slides back and forth and can accommodate wheelbases all the way up to 52 inches. So it has a wide range of accommodation there. Okay, so now we'll grab the bike and lift. This happens to be a road bike. And here at the front cradle, you can see there is a dedicated position for road bikes where the narrow tire will just nest into that cradle. But then, of course, it widens up to accommodate much wider tires as well. Okay, so the first thing to focus on is that front wheel and getting the front wheel and the front of the bike secured. So I'll bring that hook back up and then start to pull down the hook against the tire. The positioning should be about 1 inch away from the first point of contact. So I'll go ahead and bring it down. Once it makes contact, be sure to give it a good, firm click so that it gets a good grip on that front wheel. So that serves as your main stability for the bike on the rack. Now here at the back, we can slide this rear wheel strap so that it's directly under the axle of the wheel, and then bring that strap through, push it through your buckle or pull it, and just get that firm. It doesn't have to be any tighter than necessary in order to stop the wheel from moving, and that's all that's necessary. Okay, so when you have your bike loaded, you can also take advantage of that tilt down feature again by tipping it down, and then now you can open up the rear hatch on most vehicles. So I'll go ahead and bring it back up again. And next, let's take a look at security. So we already discussed the security of the rack to the hitch. Now let's discuss the security of the bike to the rack. And that is a cable that's housed in the arm, and then that cable extends out, wraps around the frame of the bicycle, and then locks back to itself right here. Now, this particular lock mechanism has the ability to automatically snap into position so that it doesn't require a key to lock it on, or it can be left unlocked and then you put it onto the lockdown point and then lock it. So you have those two options for locking and unlocking. Okay, and then just to be clear, on the other bike, it too has its own dedicated cable and lock, and the keys that were used for locking the rack to the hitch are the same keys that are used on these two cables. Now, in addition to the security that Yakima provides, you can also supplement with your own security, and Yakima's conveniently created a lockdown point, which is in a space that's very easy to access. So, and this is steel, so you have the strength of a steel loop here, so you can run your own U-lock or heavy-duty cable for high-value bicycles. Okay, so the other thing to know about this rack, because it is Yakima's heavy-duty series of racks, it has the capacity to add a 2-bike add-on. So you can have your initial 2 bikes, and then the end release mechanism can be removed. The 2-bike add-on can be positioned there, and you still have your release mechanism at the end of the 2 bikes. So you can have a total of 4 bikes, and the 4 bikes are positioned in a stadium-style positioning. So you have a low position, and they progressively get higher and higher in order to maintain good ground clearance, so that if you go up an incline, you don't have the fourth bike tray being too close to the ground. Other thing to know about these racks is that they are offered in two different colors. We have the anthracite black, and there's also a vapor white. So two color options depending on your preference. And those are all the key features of the Yakima StageTwo hitch-mounted bicycle carrier. This product and the full line of Yakima products are available at rackattack.com. Please see the link in the video description for all your buying options. And if you have any questions or comments about this particular rack, please leave those in the comment section below. And consider subscribing. We have over 2,000 rack-related videos on our YouTube channel, and we upload new videos weekly. That's all for this one. Thanks for watching.